Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here. Today I'm back for episode number 12, I do believe, of my New York Mets Dynasty series here on Out of the Park Baseball 19. So today we're back in the 2019 National League Championship Series after defeating the Cardinals in 5 games in the division series, and we were up 2-0 in that series. Then blew game 3, fell in game 4, and pulled it out in game number 5 back at home. And now we get to play Chicago. And whoops, I didn't mean to go to the screen right away. I wanted to look at their roster first, since they beat out St. Louis in the Central Division by just 1 game. They finished 99 and 64, I believe, and that was after playing in a game 163 against St. Louis. So they finished third in runs scored and second in runs against. Pretty good run differential right there. 99 win run differential, right what their record was. So this is a very good Cubs team. Looking at their lineup, Hayward had a nice bounce back year, much like uh, he had a good year in 2018 as well, just as he's doing in real life. Rizzo, solid year out of him. Ian Happ with a kind of a breakout year right there, 364 OBP and 512 slugging. Chris Bryant hit 41 homers. Contreras with a very good year. So they got some good offensive production out of a lot of their um, a lot of their core pieces. Addison Russell too, and Albert Almora having a solid year, playing a good center field. And pitching wise, they've got Quintana, Lester, Darvish, and Adam Wainwright. So very good pitching, just like we saw last year in the championship series. I think it's the same rotation except for Wainwright, who had kind of a bounce back year too. Very low BABIP, but still 3.5 wins and a 3.05 ERA in 29 starts. And their bullpen is not quite as good as their starting staff. Brandon Morrow, Dylan Maples, Kyle Hendricks. Um, definitely the weak point of this team is their bullpen. Kyle Hendricks, actually not bad as a starter this year. Tailed off a little bit at the end of the year, it looks like, but still pretty good numbers. Although his ratings are starting to go down, so I can see why he's not in the postseason rotation. But this is a very good Cubs team, and they're definitely going to be a challenge. Now, I'm not sure who is going to go in game 1. We did get Robert Selman and Seth Lugo back from injury, but I'm not going to bother putting either of them on the postseason roster. I would maybe consider getting Paxton off the roster just because I didn't use him at all in the first series, but I think I'd still rather have Paxton in that spot in case I did need to turn to him for a couple of innings, maybe in an extra inning game or whatever. Like, I would way rather have Paxton in that spot than Selman or Seth Lugo at this point, who both have barely pitched all year. So, all right, we're going to get into a game number 1. And yeah, I'm not sure who our game 1 starter is going to be. Looks like Callaway wants to go with Matz, who is 100% rested. We had one day off in between game 5 and game number 1, so looking like DeGrom probably not going to be able to go till game 3, honestly. So it'll probably be Matz, and then I'm not sure who I would rather pitch between Triggs and Wheeler. Neither were that good, but one of them will likely have to go in game number 2, with the other starting in game 4. But let's do our lineup. So they've got the lefty Quintana on the mound. So I'm going to give Rosario the start then, and continue with the same sort of lineup I was utilizing in the last series. And we're going to hit Rosario leadoff. I could swap him with Gurriel. Maybe I should swap him with Gurriel, honestly. Yeah, I'll do that. Hit Gurriel leadoff, why not? I guess I should probably hit Betts leadoff and Gurriel third, actually. But that's okay. It's too late now. So here we go. Game number 1, Mats against Jose Quintana. We do have home field because we were 1 game better than them through 162, and then they won their 99th game of the year in game 163. So we finished 1 game, or a half game up on them, actually, but 1 game in the loss column. A couple fly balls here Mats gets with runners on and no one out. Now there's 2 outs for Addison or Russell. He hits 1-2 right center, and I think Betts is going to have that one. So Mats getting around a couple of base runners here in the first inning. To the bottom of the first we go, and there was nothing going there for us. Game moving along now to the bottom of the second. Plawecki coming up with 1 out and guys on first and second, but he's got 2 strikes on him. Quintana striking him out on the check swing, and now it's Steven Matz ahead in the count, 2-1. Grounds it to the third baseman Bryant, making the play for out number 3. And Quintana working his way out of that jam. Now 2 on a 2F for Russell in the top of the 3rd. 1-2 count, he goes down swinging. So a big strikeout there for Mats. And he is through 3 scoreless. Gurriel out of that leadoff spot, grounding one into the shift. Ooh, he beat that. Nice little infield hit for Gurriel. And he gets over. Ooh, that looked like an RBI double for Bryce Harper. I just went into runners in scoring position real quick, and Harper ends up on second. We end up 1-0. So a little RBI double for Bryce Harper. Now Betts up with no one out. That ball gets away from the catcher. So Harper taking third there. Now Betts just got to get one in play to get this run home. That's a fly ball. And that's going to drop apparently in front of the center fielder for an RBI hit for Mookie Betts. Now Conforto up. 2-0 lead for the Mets here. And Conforto hitting one pretty high and deep to right field, but not deep enough. Got under it. And Hayward there for out number 1. I guess I can go to runners in scoring position again. We've got first and third with 2 outs for Shuang. Facing the left-handed Quintana, hitting one to deep right center. Off the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes another one. The relay goes to third, and it's going to be 4-0 New York Mets. Shuang hits an RBI triple. 2 RBI triple, excuse me. As Betts and Rosario come around to score, and it's 4-0 New York in game number 1. Plawecki up next. And he hits one left side. That is going to be fielded by Bryant. His throw in time for out number 3. But the Mets push across 4 runs, bring 8 to the plate, and they take the lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Now Steven Matz has a lead to work with, and he works through it pretty efficiently right there. On to the 5th we go. A little 2-out home run for Javi Baez. Now Anthony Rizzo up with 2 outs. No problems there for Steven Matz. To the bottom of the 5th, and 2 more runs across. Ahmed Rosario hitting a 2-run home run. That is pretty surprising to see. Definitely the first home run I've ever seen him hit in a game. He only has 35 grade power, of course. And Jose Quintana was still into the game. It was still in the game. Matz also went at 55 pitches into the 6th inning, and he is pitching very well. Quintana's still in this game at 99 pitches. I'm leaving Matz in, and Quintana getting through another inning there. It looks like Brett Gardner into the game now for the Cubs at center field, coming in for Albert Almora. And Matz throwing another scoreless inning. He is through 7 at 74 pitches, only 1 strikeout. This is some Steven Matz wizardry right here. But we've got a little bit of a lead, so I'm willing to let him continue. And I will get Ta up just in case. Let's go to runners in scoring position. So man on second and 1 out for Rizzo. I'm going to trust him against the lefty here. And he gets him on the swing and a miss. Now Russell. See if he can retire. Russell, deep right field. If it's fair, it's gone. And that is a fair ball. Deep into the night. A 2-run opposite field home run for Addison Russell, making it 6-3. And I am going to go to Ta here, because he's the only guy I have ready to go. And he is facing a lefty here, Ian Happ, and he goes down swinging. So I think I'm just going to leave him in the game, even if his spot comes up in the lineup here, because I want him for this final inning. It looks like his spot didn't even come up. He went down 1-2-3, and he gets through it unscathed. So there we go, a game 1 win, 6-3. Couple of big home runs from Shuang and Rosario, and that gives us the win and the 1-0 series lead as we defend our home field once again. I think we're 4-0 at home in these playoffs so far after 6 postseason games. And now we are here for game number 2, back at home once more before the series will shift to Chicago. They got another lefty on the mound, so I'm going to keep Rosario in the lineup over Jimenez. And this time, I'm going to do what I should have done and hit Betts leadoff and Gurriel third. And Smith, we don't really, I guess I'll hit Rosario 6th over Shuang against the lefty too. But Shuang, it's hard to bat him. I mean, he's pretty good if he's sitting 7th in our lineup. 32 home runs, obviously, in the 570 slugging, but struggling in these playoffs. So DeGrom not ready till game number 3. We've got to decide between Triggs and Zach Wheeler, and I think we'll go with Zach Wheeler because that's who Callaway wants to go with. That's who's been here, slightly higher overall rating, and we will see if it pays off for us, obviously. So here we go, game number 2. And Wheeler surrendering a 2-run home run to Anthony Rizzo. Not a good start to his night as we go down 2-0, but Gurriel answering with an RBI double to make it 2-1 in the bottom of the first. And now Conforto facing the lefty. He strikes out. It seems like he has struggled against lefties in these playoffs. And now it's Smith behind in the count 0-2, and he goes down. So we get one back that inning, and we trail by 1 now. And Wheeler needing to settle into this game. And now in the bottom of the second, we've got first and third and 2 outs from Mookie Betts. He takes ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Bryce Harper. Full count, hitting one right side into right field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the go-ahead run, and Bryce Harper makes it 3-2 with a 2 RBI single, putting the Mets ahead. And now Gurriel with a 2-out chance, facing the lefty, hitting it to right field, and that is looks like it's going to drop because do we want to send Hayward or Harper? I mean, we're not going to send him. That does drop in front of Hayward, so another run in for the New York Mets, make it 4-2. 3 across this inning. Lester struggling mightily, and Conforto hitting one well to center, but Almora is there to make the play, and he saves probably another run right there. Harper surely would have scored if that ball gets down, but it's 4-2 now. Wheeler into his third inning of work. He does have 4 strikeouts, but 2 walks now, and a man on second with 1 out. Rizzo, who homered last time, he hits one to deep right. This ball struck well, but it looks like it's going to be playable for Harper. He does make the play. 2 down now. Almora goes over to third, and Ian Happ is up at 2 strikes. He goes down, swinging a big strikeout for Wheeler, his 5th of the night, and he is through 3 innings now with 2 runs across for Chicago. On to the bottom of the third, looking for more. Nothing going for us. And into the 4th, Wheeler with an easy inning there. Now Harper up with a man on second and 2 outs. He's got 2 hits tonight, hitting one to left, make it 3 hits. And we are going to send Mookie Betts against the arm of Ian Happ to play at the plate. And it looks like he got him. What a throw by Ian Happ, nailing Betts at home plate. And that keeps this a 2-run game. Wheeler working into the 5th inning. A leadoff double for Addison Russell. Now he faces Chatwood. A little swinging bunt there. And no, he was a bunt. Down to the pitcher. Good play to make the out at first. Now Almora up. Good contact skills here. And he hits one well to right. That ball is going to tie up this ball game. A 2-run opposite field home run for Albert Almora. And we are all tied at 4 as the Cubs reset things here in the top half of the 5th. And we are going to get our bullpen going now. We did not have to use our bullpen at all pretty much in game 1 outside of Ta for 4 outs. And Wheeler facing the top half of the lineup for the 3rd time now. So he's not long for this game, I would say. That should be a ground out, and it is. 2 down now for Anthony Rizzo. And we'll do a mound visit. Justin Dunn is warming up. I'm going to try and get Wheeler through this inning. I'm going to pitch around Rizzo for sure. And he walked on the 3-2 pitch. So now it is Ian Happ, and I'll pitch around Ian Happ as well. 3-1 count to Happ. He hits this one to left, and that should be out number 3 as Conforto getting there, and he does make the play. So we are into the bottom of the 5th now, tied at 4, and Dunn will certainly be the next man in this ball game. I'm going to sit him for now, and we'll see what happens. Maybe if Rosario's spot comes to pass in the lineup, I would consider double switching to get Dunn in this game. That ball hit well to center, and that is going to get down. Extra bases for Gurriel. He's got a leadoff double in the bottom half of the 5th. And it's Conforto coming up. And he hits one into left. That's a base hit. So a couple hits here for the Mets. Gurriel pushing it, and he scores. No throw, as that was cut off. And that gives the Mets the lead once again. Michael Conforto coming up big against, it looks like Tyler Chatwood is into this game as the reliever. Smith hitting that one to second, could be two. And they do turn it a 4-6-3 double play in the shift right there. But it was Zobrist Russell. And that makes it 2 down in the inning. And we don't do anything there. So I am going to double switch Dunn into this game now. He should still be fine, yep. Into the game for Rosario. Whoops. Oh my god, I put him in for Shuang. That was a terrible mistake. Yikes. Alright, well, Jimenez coming into this game one way or another. He is going to play some second base. And Dunn is going to come in and pitch. That was bad. Yikes. Alright, well, we will overcome. Dunn into the game now. And he continues to have a lot of success this postseason with a quick and easy ending right there. Now he's going to have to hit. And nothing going for us there. But I do want him to try and get through a second inning of work. And he does just that, man. He continues to dominate out of the bullpen as a reliever. And making me wonder if this should be a full-time switch for him. At this point, just a one hit through 2 innings at 35 pitches. And as we head towards the 8th inning, I think we're going to turn the game over to Dylan Betances, assuming it stays a one-run game, and it does. So we're going to get him up, and we're going to get him in and warm up Yo Nanta, Ta, our man, our best relief pitcher, who we would want in the highest of high leverage. Now Anthony Rizzo up. I'm just going to go batter by batter here because that's how nervous I am. Facing the middle of their lineup, and Rizzo working the leadoff walk. Now Ian Happ. He strikes out. Nice recovery by Betances there for out number 1. Chris Bryant, he is going to take ball 4. Couple of walks in this inning now. Tying run into scoring position. And it's Contreras facing the right-handed Betances. That is a double play ball, and they turn it a huge 6-4-3 double play. And that gets Betances out of the inning. And now we are going to head to the 9th, at the very least up by 1, with Ta coming into the game completely fresh, aside from what he had to do last night, but he has not pitched here tonight so far. That's a walk for Dom Smith. Now Rosario up next. He is ahead in the count 3-1. Hitting one well to left center. That's going to get down into the alley. It goes. And Smith will be held at third base. Of course, he probably is the slowest runner on this team. And he cannot score on that ball. Kind of disappointing, but only 25 speed for him. So now that makes it a pinch hit situation. And we're going to go with Justin Bohr in a nice little high leverage spot here for him. Facing the right-handed Mazzoni. And what? Who did I just put him in the game for? I am like just not even looking. Who did I put him in the game for is the question. I'm not even sure right now. I'm just going to let him hit. Figure it out in a sec. He could still come up big here. Give us a run. Oh, that ball hit well to right, but that's going to be playable for Hayward. All right, so this has been a costly couple of moves here. I'm not sure. It is right field. We put him in for, no, it is catcher. We put him in for Plawecki. I don't even care about that. And Ta getting back into the game now. If we get these final 3 outs, it won't matter. But some shaky managing on my part. This is like some John Farrell stuff. And that ball hit well to the left, but Conforto not moving too far. And he makes the play for out number 1 now. Kyle Schwarber pinch hitting. He is behind 1-2, and he goes down looking. Strike 3. Now Refschneider pinch hitting. He is the last chance for the Cubs. Grounding it softly. Tom making the play. And the Mets lead the NLCS 2-0. After falling to the Cubs in 6 games last year, we are 2 games up on them, winning exactly as many games as we won in 6 last year. We have won the first 2. Of course, we did lead that series 2-1. So, and I think we had home. Well, actually, no, we didn't have home field. But this year we do, and maybe that will be the difference, considering that we have not lost at home yet in this postseason. But we've yet to win on the road. So we will see if we can do that tonight here in game number 3 at Chicago. We do get to toss Jacob deGrom back on the mound, our de facto ace with Syndergaard out for the year. And the Cubs will be throwing Yu Darvish, who we remember from last year was a guy that we got to. I think we beat him in game 2 or 3. I don't remember which one, but it was one of those. He seems to have had a slightly better year this year, 118 ERA plus as opposed to 93, and you can see the WAR difference. Making 34 starts, staying healthy, unlike he has in real life this past year. But with them tossing the righty, do we consider starting Jimenez or stick with Rosario? I think Rosario is hitting so well at this point that I'm just going to stick with him. Jimenez hadn't really been showing too much, and I like the lineup with Gurriel hitting third, and then like something I like about hitting Rosario sixth is that makes it an easy double switch spot to get Jimenez in the game if I want to bring someone in for multiple innings, and the spot that's due up for us next is like the 7 or 8 hitter. It's really easy to I can just double switch Jimenez in for Rosario. So I actually really like that. And other than that, I'm going to keep the lineup the same as it was. deGrom on the mound, as I said. He has made 2 starts this postseason. Both times we earned the win. And he's been pretty solid each time out. Not quite as sharp last time, I suppose, but still 6 strikeouts to 1 walk. It was really the home run ball. But we got 12 runs in that game, so it didn't matter. And, yeah, he threw games 1 and 5, I want to say, for us. So here we go now. Yu Darvish on the mound in Wrigley for game number 3. And this is a familiar territory for the Mets. 3rd time we played this Cubs team in the championship series in the last 5 years, I guess. 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 now. And on to the bottom of the 2nd we go. Couple guys on here for Albert Almora. Looks like we've got some alternate uniforms on maybe tonight. Can't really tell, to be honest, but it looks slightly darker shade than the normal gray. Anyway, we get the ground out there. So on to the top of the 3rd. No, absolutely nothing but deGrom. Matching Darvish so far through 3 scoreless on both sides. And he had no strikeouts prior to that half inning. But, again, no one getting into scoring position. And we've got 2 guys on now with Mookie Betts up and no one out. Facing Carl Edwards, so Madden going with a quick hook on Darvish here. And it looks like it's going to pay off because that is a 6-4-3 double play to get 2 men down here in this 5th inning. A runner on 3rd now for Bryce Harper. He's got a full count. And Edwards missing for ball 4. It looks like that pitch. It's so tough to tell on the play-by-play. Looked like it went right over the middle, but it does not matter, I suppose. Now Gurriel up with 2 men on. He's got a 2-1 count. And he puts one in play into left, and that is down for a base hit. So Gurriel coming up with another big hit, pushing the first run of this game across for the New York Mets, and that makes it 1-0. So Michael Conforto up with 2 on and 2 out. He hits one up the middle. That is going to get into center field. Another run coming across for New York. Make it 2-0 Mets. As Conforto driving home another Met right there. And doubling their lead to 2. Now Dominic Smith up next. He goes down swinging, and Edwards is finally out of the jam right there, but not before 2 runs come across. And now deGrom working into the bottom of the 5th at 62 pitches. Only 1 strikeout. And the first 2 guys are aboard here. So I am going to get my bullpen going in case this inning turns into some trouble, and that is down into center field. That is going to load the bases. The runner, Edwards Jr., not scoring there from second base, but the bases are loaded for Anthony Rizzo, and he's got a 1-0 count. He swings and misses, but the ball gets away from Plawecki. That's going to get a run across, and that's a big play. That eliminates the force at home, eliminates the double play ball, and that ball hits Rizzo, so deGrom starting to lose it now, and I think it's time to get him out of this game. Now, Justin Dunn, not a big strikeout guy. So, interesting. Probably should have gone with a 1-inning reliever here, actually, to be honest. Maybe a Betances type, someone who could get a strikeout. But But that is going to not score the runner, or that's not Edwards anymore, is it? That's Almora. He did not score on that fly ball. Now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Chris Bryant, and that's ball 4. A bad walk for Dunn. That's going to tie the game. Second run coming across here this inning for Chicago. Now Contreras ahead in the count 3-0. And oh boy, this is getting out of hand. Not quite out of hand yet, but this could get out of hand as Dunn not showing me much right here. Let's get Jamie Callahan up. And we'll do a mound visit. And leave Dunn into the game. See what he can do. 3-1 count. That ball hitting into center. That's down for a base knock. One more run coming across. Make it 4-2 Cubs. As Ben Zobrist getting an RBI single. And Justin Dunn coming out of the game now with a shoulder injury. And that doesn't surprise me too much based on the way he was pitching. So Callahan into the game now trying to get out of this jam. He's got this next batter behind 1 and 2. That's a ground ball. Are they going to try and turn 2? They will, and they do. A huge double play. Nice play by Ahmed Rosario. And he turns one with Shuang there at second. That was big. So that gets us out of the inning. 3 runs across, though, for Chicago, I believe. 3 or 4. I think it was 3. And, no, it was 4. What am I saying? We were up 2-0 before that inning. And now it is 4-2 Chicago. So bottom part of our lineup due up. I'm going to go batter by batter. Make sure Callahan's spot does not come up. Rosario striking out, looking. Now Shuang taking ball 4. That brings up Plawecki. And this is a big spot in this game. I think I'm going to... I guess I'm not going to pinch it for Plawecki. It's still a little early, and I don't really have anyone obvious that I would go to. I want to keep Jimenez on the bench in case I want to double switch later. And I'm going to leave Bohr for Callahan's spot, assuming he comes up this inning. So I think we're going to get Cody Anderson up next. See what happens here. That's a ground ball. Could be 2. And it is going to be a 5-4-3 double play. So Plawecki eliminating all of that decision making with 1 double play ball. And we'll leave Callahan in. Only had 4 pitches. Facing 8-9-1 here. He gets strike 3 looking on Baez there. Baez rarely goes down looking. That ball hit well to right. That is back at the track. And Harper making the play right in front of the ivy. That was a pretty nice swing by Albert Almora. 2 down for Jason Hayward. And I'm going to get Anderson back up. 3-2 count for Hayward. He hits one to the second baseman. Stabbed by Shuang. Throw to first in time. And that is out number 3. To the 7th we go. Still trailing by 2 are the Mets. And it is Callahan's spot due up in the lineup. He is going to be pinch hit for by Justin Bohr. And nothing happening that time around for us. So we will get Cody Anderson in the game as the pitcher for the bottom of the 7th. And he's got a runner on second with a 1 out for Chris Bryant, who hits one into center field. But Betts is going to get there just in front of the warning track for out number 2. Ian Happ holding at second base. Now 2 down for Contreras, who hits one well to left. That ball back, and goodbye. A 2-run home run for Wilson Contreras, and that makes it 6-2 Cubs. So Anderson struggling through that inning, 24 pitches. I'm not going to ask for any more out of him. To the top of the 8th we go. And we've got a leadoff double for Gurriel now. And it's Conforto up. That ball bouncing off the catcher. So Gurriel taking third with Conforto up facing Brandon Morrow. And that ball hit well to the second base side, but a nice play by Refschneider to make the play. Run does come across, but the Cubs still lead by 3. Dominic Smith taking ball 4 there. So 1 man on for Ahmed Rosario facing Dylan Maples. He's behind in the count 0-2. And that ball is swung on and missed for strike 3. Now Shuang with 2 down, flying 1 to center. And I believe that's Almora out there making the play for out number 3. So now Nicasio. Yeah, we're not gonna do more than one inning out of Nicasio anyway, so we'll just bring him in straight up. I'm just gonna go half inning. He does hold it to a 3-run game. So we'll just go batter by batter, see who's into the game when his spot comes up. Plawecki, ooh, taking ball 4 to win for us. Looks like they're leaving Maples into the game for now. So I'm going to go with him, Jimenez. See if he can't get on base here. And it looks like they left Maples in. That ball hit to left. Falling fast, but it's going to be caught by Ian Happ for out number 1. Mookie Betts up next. Hitting one well to right. Hayward back. And he makes the play. Right at the warning track there. Looked like he might have dove into the ivy almost. That was a pretty well-struck ball by Betts, but he does not reach. Now Harper with 2 outs. He takes ball 4, so that will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Yuli Gurriel, who does have some pop. But he's behind 1-2, and he takes strike 3 looking. So the Cubs bounce back, take game number 3, and the trend of the home team winning every game continues, as we've seen throughout these playoffs so far for the New York Mets.